This week we're testing the 2021 Honda Odyssey. This sees a minor refresh for the 21 model year, mostly some aesthetic changes, and makes for just an overall nicer looking minivan. Some specs on this Odyssey: it's powered by a 3.5 liter V6, which makes 280 horsepower. That's made into Honda's 10-speed automatic. It only comes in front-wheel drive. And this one we have here today is the top-of-the-line Elite model. So it comes in just under $49,000, which is a little pricey, but the Odyssey starts at around $33,000, and you can get nice mid-trim EXLs for just under $39,000. I do like the new front end on this. I think it looks pretty attractive. A little bit more of a simple design for Honda's design language. And I think this is just a nice looking minivan. 19-inch wheels on this Elite model. Same massive rear trunk area. Lots of room in the seats. The Odyssey was redone in 2018, so they did make a few changes, one of which was these seats that slide, which is kind of cool. We have the middle one taken out so we can show that, but back here you get a ton of space. They're very easy to remove, though they are a little bit heavy. All you have to do is just pull this lever right here, pull that out, lift it up, and that's how you take the seats out. Unfortunately, not as easy as the Pacifica's stow and go, but for the minivan market, I do believe the Pacifica has a patent on that stow and go, and no one else can really use it. So that said, for the Odyssey, this is actually pretty easy to move around. Tons of space back here, buttons to open and close the doors. You have a couple USB charging points. There is rear seat infotainment. Lots of connectivity options in there with different apps. Rear climate control, and of course, completely usable third row seats. Again, very comfortable, plenty of leg room. You even get a headphone jack. You even get a couple of small window shades, which is great. And same with the second row. I've always liked the Honda Odyssey, and I think I just realized this is the first one we've ever had on the channel. I haven't driven one since we drove one out west a few years ago, but that was I believe it was a 2004, and it had 300,000 miles on it. It was a champ. So I have had lots of journeys and fun experiences in the Odysseys, just none of the new ones. Let's check out the rear here. Power lift gate on all trims above the EXL. You get this really deep storage area here, which is very nice. And of course, these seats fold flat. All you have to do is just kind of buckle that right there, and you've got a pretty flat loading floor. And of course, you guys know how to take out the second row. And same deal with this. We'll put this up just for demonstration purposes, but all manually operated, easy to use. You get your Honda vac here over to the left, little shop vac action down here. Cubby hole to store things, 12-volt power outlet. Lots of usable space. I really have always enjoyed how practical a minivan is, and the Odyssey is honestly one of my favorite. It's kind of a tough call between this and the Pacifica. Having spent so much time in the Pacifica recently, that thing really did win my heart over, but I think this Odyssey is just nicer overall to drive. It definitely feels like a higher quality product in your hands and when using it. Here's a 3.5 liter V6, a super smooth engine, really nice powertrain, even gets decent fuel economy. You can hear how quiet it is. 28 mpg on the highway, 19 in the city. We've been averaging around 22 in the combined cycle. Tons of places to store things, lots of little pockets. I mean, it's a minivan. You're not going to run out of space. You have a little wireless charging place here, plug for your Apple CarPlay, buttons, knobs, the ergonomics. Honda is starting to really figure it out. They've got a really nice infotainment system that's responsive, quick to use. I mean, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is pretty much all you need these days. And some settings and you're all set. A volume knob. Oh yeah, people love their volume knobs. And then buttons and switches for climate control. Cooled, heated seats. The touch button gear selector takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, it's not too bad. All the things that you would need on your steering wheel. Buttons to open and close your doors, memory seats. I mean, this Elite does really have everything. One thing that distinguishes it is it has this little bits of seat piping here on the edges. Honda told me that a lot of their customers for this top-of-the-line model come from luxury cars, which is kind of interesting. There's even a setting that you can check your rear seats and spy on your children, which is quite nice. I don't know if we can go in and find that. There we go. Cabin watch. You can see your second row. There you go. You can see what they're doing. You can talk to them. Just very, very nice things for the family. Let's put us back into Apple CarPlay and take this thing on the road. We'll also do a sound system test at the end of this video, and let's get some driving impressions. For a larger vehicle, the steering is light. This is a super easy van to drive. I don't feel like it's too large or difficult to wheel around. And it has that typical pleasing Honda character. There's a smoothness to the steering, the powertrain, the transmission. Hondas are really enjoyable to drive these days, and this Odyssey is definitely one of their best driving products, I would say. And that's something that is represented all throughout this vehicle. From the materials, the way this leather feels, to the buttons and switches, and the tactility of everything, to the way that the car's dynamics are on the road. It's just a very pleasing and easy car to live with. Everything feels like it's really well made, that it'll last a long time. A lot of the interior surfaces seem like they're quite durable, except for some of this gloss black plastic. These seats are comfortable, and I have pretty good visibility. My side visibility is a little bit impacted by this B-pillar here, but you do have blind spot monitoring, and that has worked really well this week. I found this 10-speed to be a little bit lazier than I thought it would be. I was hoping for just a little bit more response, but honestly, for what this is, for what the minivan market needs, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's a super smooth powertrain. It does love to rev with that V6 VTEC. And it's reasonably efficient too. Stop-start on this is also pretty seamless. And it is a nice torquey motor. Paired with the 10-speed, it does a nice job holding gears. I don't think it's as quick or responsive or sporty to drive as the Pacifica, but if we're being honest, who drives a minivan like I do? It's definitely no slouch, we'll say that much. There is a sport setting on the transmission, and you do have paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. This V6 is a great engine. I will miss it if and when it goes. Wind noise is kept to a minimum. Again, I just love the dynamics of this thing. It's kind of something you have to experience firsthand. It's really difficult to describe why Hondas are so pleasing and enjoyable to drive, unless if you get behind the wheel of one. I think this Odyssey nails so many aspects of the driving experience, from the ergonomics, the practicality, all of the ways that you can configure this vehicle for your needs, to fit family, fit stuff. Really nice turning radius. This V6 is fun. I think that's a pretty good reason to get this Odyssey over the competitors alone. Honestly, after driving it for a few days, I don't really have any complaints about this thing. It's quite good. You get really nice radar guided cruise control. Honda sensing has gotten so much better than what it was a long time ago. It's a system now that really does a good job following the lines of the road. It doesn't take you off into random directions anymore. Honda's done a great job kind of configuring this and making it work consistently for people's needs and a little bit safer. So I can definitely feel a difference in how they have tuned this Honda sensing system from previous generations. Nice Rolls Royce. Let's pull over, get the sound test started in this, and show you guys what this sound system is like. One of my favorite things about using the cruise control on this is that unless if you turn the system off, it's set whenever you start the car. So all you have to do is just hit the set button and you can engage cruise control very quickly. Lane keep assist and lane centering is just a press of a button. The system works great. It doesn't prompt you constantly. It handles corners quite well, back roads, situations where you're on a 2-lane road and a third lane goes into the turn lane. It doesn't turn into that lane anymore. It stays straight. It can read a road with one side, with lines on one side, which is fantastic. Like in this situation, it stays in our lane, which is fantastic. That's what we need. occasionally the cruise control will make some abrupt braking decisions, but for the most part, it's a pretty smooth system. The sound system is okay. I'm actually not terribly impressed with it. I think it's acceptable for what it is, but if you're an audiophile, it's not really going to impress you that much. Otherwise, though, this is just such a well-rounded minivan. Like I said earlier, I'd be hard-pressed to get this or the Pacifica if I were in the market. I would like to drive the new Sienna as well, and Kia has some new offerings into the market too. So, a competitive space. Honda sells a lot of these. Alright guys, well, I think that's going to wrap up our video on the 2021 Odyssey. It looks a little bit better. I like the direction Honda is taking the van's design language. Anyway guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We will also be posting videos on Winding Road Magazine's YouTube channel, and I believe Charlie from Daily Motor is doing a video on this, in addition to all of the Winding Road stuff. There you go, and you automatically get a rear seat reminder, plus a view from the camera if you've opened the rear doors at all during your drive, which is kind of a useful feature so you don't forget your kids. Super easy to get in and out of too. The ingress egress in this is just some of the best out there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.